What if I told you that the most powerful way to hurt those who hate you is to do absolutely nothing? No shouting, no revenge, no petty comebacks, just pure, unshakable control over yourself. In a world where people feed off drama, your calmness is unsettling. Your silence, deafening. Your growth, infuriating. This isn't about stooping to their level. It's about rising so far above it they can't even reach you. If you're ready to master the art of quiet dominance through Stoic philosophy, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is where true strength begins. Number 1, don't react, rise above. There is no greater power than the ability to remain calm in the face of hatred. When someone hates you, disrespects you, or tries to provoke a reaction out of you, what they truly want is control. They want to own a piece of your emotional state, and the moment you lash out, whether with anger, tears, or even bitter silence, you give them exactly what they crave. You validate their power over you. But the Stoics taught us that the real battlefield is not out there, it's within. Epictetus, once a slave who rose to become one of Stoicism's greatest voices, said, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." In other words, no one can make you angry, upset, or reactive unless you give them permission. That's the Stoic superpower, self-mastery. When someone throws an insult, you don't flinch. When they gossip behind your back, you don't retaliate. When they try to draw you into their chaos, you stand still, like a mountain unmoved by the winds, because you understand something they don't, that their behavior reveals them, not you. You know that dignity lies in refusing to descend into their level of pettiness. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That means you don't mimic their hatred with more hatred. You don't meet cruelty with cruelty. Instead, you respond with silence, grace, and restraint, not for their sake, but for yours. Because your goal isn't to win a petty battle, it's to win the war for your own soul. Those who hate you expect you to crumble, to lash out, to lose control. But when you don't, when you simply refuse to give them even a flicker of your peace, they are left powerless. Your indifference is not passive, it's defiance at its highest form. It's the refusal to allow someone else's weakness to pull you away from your values. And what does that do to those who hate you? It confuses them. It frustrates them. It eats away at them. Because deep down, they realize they can't touch you. Not really. They can speak your name, but they can't stain your character. They can plot your downfall, but they can't shake your foundation. Why? Because you've chosen not to react. You've chosen to rise. And in that rise, you send a message louder than any words could ever speak. I am not yours to control. Number 2, let calmness break their control. There's a reason your calmness terrifies those who hate you. It exposes everything they're trying to hide. People who thrive on hate, drama, and manipulation are fueled by reaction. They live for the moment they can get inside your head, spark your emotions, and watch you unravel. But when you remain calm, collected, and centered, you rob them of their favorite weapon, control. You see, hatred is loud because it's insecure. Rage is theatrical because it's fragile. And people who act from these places are hoping you'll meet them at their level, so they don't feel alone in their misery. But the Stoics knew the truth. Real strength is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't need to prove anything. It simply is. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Think about that. The damage we suffer from reacting often outweighs the damage we originally received. By letting someone provoke us, we not only let them harm us, we help them do it. But if we remain calm, we cut off that path entirely. We protect our mind, our dignity, and our direction in life. Hateful people want to derail you, but calmness keeps you on your path. Imagine someone insulting you, trying to embarrass you, shouting nonsense in your face. The common instinct is to shout back, to defend your pride. But pride, when fragile, becomes your weakness. The Stoics taught a different pride, the kind rooted in virtue and self-control, not ego. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the most powerful man of his time, constantly reminded himself in his journal, "Keep your composure. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around." Let that image sink in. A cliff unmoved by storms. That's what your calmness becomes, a force of nature that can't be shaken. And when people see that, especially those who want to harm you, it unnerves them. Because what they're truly trying to do is shake your foundation. And when they fail, it reveals a painful truth to them. You are stronger than they are. Your calmness doesn't just protect you, it reflects them. When someone full of hatred is faced with someone full of peace, it creates a mirror too painful for many to look into. It shows them how lost they are, how reactive, how weak. And some will spiral even more because of it. But that's not your concern. As a Stoic, your only concern is your own soul, your own character. Calmness is not just about silence. It's about stability. It's about choosing not to let someone's words live rent-free in your mind. It's about being able to stand in the fire without letting it consume you. And when you do that, you gain something the haters will never have: freedom. Because a calm mind is a free mind. A composed person is an unbreakable person. And when you stay centered while someone else tries to pull you into the abyss, they fall and you don't. They become consumed by the storm they created. And you become the eye of the storm, still, strong, serene. So next time someone lashes out at you, remember, you don't have to fight them. You only have to deny them access to your peace. Because in the end, your calmness will say what your words never could. I am untouchable not because I fight harder, but because I've mastered myself. Number 3, be indifferent to the unworthy. Not everyone deserves a reaction from you. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every act of cruelty needs to be acknowledged. The Stoics taught that indifference is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's a conscious decision to reserve your energy for what actually matters. And most of the time, the people who hate you are not worthy of your energy at all. When someone insults you, mocks you, spreads lies about you, your instinct may be to defend yourself, to fight back, to correct the story. But here's the Stoic truth: their words only have meaning if you give them meaning. If you believe that someone else's hatred defines your worth, you've already lost your peace. But if you know yourself, truly, deeply, then their words become like dust in the wind. They pass by, and you remain unmoved. Epictetus once said, "If someone speaks badly of you and it is true, correct yourself. If it is false, laugh at it." This is not sarcasm, it's clarity. When you are rooted in your own character and values, insults lose their sting. You no longer react to hate, because you see it for what it is: a reflection of the other person's pain, their ignorance, their weakness, not your own. Hatred is often a cry for help wrapped in venom. It's insecurity trying to disguise itself. as confidence. But when you respond with indifference, not rage, not spite, not even smugness, but genuine indifference, you dismantle the very mechanism that hatred relies on to survive. Because hate feeds off attention, and your indifference starves it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind is your fortress, your soul is your sanctuary, and not everyone should be allowed entry. When you let the words of someone bitter or broken crawl into your thoughts, you're giving a thief the keys to your peace. Why let them in? Indifference does not mean you don't feel. It means you choose what's worth feeling. It means that when someone beneath your values tries to drag you down, you smile. Not because you're arrogant, but because you understand. You understand that they're not your enemy. They're their own enemy. And you don't have time to fight ghosts. You're too focused on building something real. Being indifferent to the unworthy is also an act of self-respect. It says, I know who I am. I don't need to shout it, I live it. And that quiet certainty confuses those who try to hurt you, because they expect a war, and instead they get silence. They expect chaos, and you give them composure. They want to tear you down, and you simply walk away. And here's the most beautiful part. The more indifferent you become to small minds, the more room you make for great things. Your goals, your peace, your growth. Hatred becomes noise in the background of your purpose. You stop being distracted by who's throwing stones because you're too busy building a cathedral. So remember, when someone beneath your values tries to rise by pulling you down, don't reach for them, rise higher. Walk on, and let your indifference speak the truth. You are not worth my disturbance. Number 4, win through virtue. In a world where hatred often manifests through manipulation, lies, and cruelty, there lies a path few choose but all admire. The path of virtue. To those who hate you, virtue is your ultimate weapon, not because it wounds, but because it elevates you beyond their reach. Stoicism teaches us that true victory is not in defeating others, but in mastering yourself and embodying excellence of character. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor and philosopher, reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. This is the essence of winning through virtue. When you act with integrity, honesty, courage, and compassion, especially in the face of hostility, you embody a force so powerful it transcends petty conflicts. You become untouchable, not because you evade harm, but because harm loses its meaning against the strength of your character. Hatred often tries to provoke you into behavior that compromises your values. It wants you to lie, cheat, retaliate, or harbor bitterness. But when you respond with virtue, you break their pattern. You refuse to let hatred dictate your actions. This is a silent yet profound kind of triumph. You do not just survive the storm, you become the calm at its center. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, the true measure of wealth and success is virtue, not material gain or social approval. When you live virtuously, you achieve an inner wealth that no enemy can steal. Your moral compass becomes a shield, your principles a fortress. Winning through virtue also means showing compassion and kindness to those who hate you, not because they deserve it, but because it demonstrates your mastery over your own emotions. This echoes the Stoic ideal of oikiosis, a sense of connection to all humanity, recognizing that even those who hurt us are flawed and suffering. You disarm hate with empathy, not weakness. By consistently choosing virtue, you frustrate the expectations of those who seek to harm you. They expect you to become like them, reactive, angry, divisive. Instead, you choose courage over fear, honesty over deceit, patience over impulse. This steady, unwavering commitment to goodness is a form of resistance that breaks their hold over you. In this way, your victory is not just personal, it is universal. It echoes through time, inspiring others and elevating the human spirit. You become a living testament to the power of Stoicism. That true strength lies not in defeating others, but in conquering oneself. So remember, the next time hatred surrounds you, don't just fight back. Win through virtue. Be the person that hatred cannot touch. Because when your actions reflect the highest good, you become invincible. Number 5. Let discipline speak for you. In the battle against those who hate you, words can often feel like fragile weapons, easily deflected, forgotten, or twisted. But discipline is a language that cannot be ignored. It is a silent force, a daily demonstration of your commitment, resilience, and self-mastery. The Stoics held discipline as the backbone of freedom and power, teaching that our greatest influence comes not from noise, but from steady, purposeful action. Imagine your critics watching from the sidelines, expecting you to falter or crumble. They hope to see you fail, lose focus, or give in to temptation. But instead, you respond not with words, but with unwavering dedication. Every day you show up, work hard, and pursue your goals with relentless consistency. You send a message louder than any insult. I am not distracted. I am not defeated. I am in control. Epictetus reminds us, no great thing is created suddenly. Mastery, achievement, and personal growth are born from small, disciplined steps taken again and again. This slow, deliberate process not only builds character, but also silences critics more effectively than any argument or retort ever could. Actions rooted in discipline are undeniable. They prove your strength without needing validation. Discipline also protects you from the chaos of reaction. When faced with hate or provocation, the disciplined mind doesn't flinch or lash out. Instead, it maintains focus, recognizing that external noise is irrelevant to your progress. Your energy is reserved for what you control, your habits, your mindset, and your work. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, reminding himself to do the work required of a good ruler and a virtuous man, regardless of external circumstances. Be like the rocky headland on which the waves constantly break. It stands firm, and round it the seething waters are laid to rest. Your discipline is your headland, a stable base amid the storm of hatred and distraction. By letting discipline speak for you, you frustrate those who hate you not with confrontation, but with results. They see your steady climb, your consistent growth, and they have no words to counter it. Because discipline is the embodiment of control, and control is the antidote to chaos. So instead of wasting time and energy on arguments or emotional battles, invest in discipline. Let your consistent effort be your answer. Let your growth be your revenge. When you achieve your goals with integrity and persistence, you've already won. The haters become irrelevant, their noise drowned out by the sound of your steady footsteps toward greatness. Number 6. Let adversity build you. Adversity is the crucible where true strength is forged. The Stoics understood this profoundly. No hardship is wasted if you learn to transform it into growth. When those who hate you hope to see you falter or break under pressure, They are unwittingly handing you a powerful tool. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the heart of Stoic resilience, the idea that obstacles are not roadblocks but pathways. Every insult, every betrayal, every moment of hardship is a test, a chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and wisdom. The Stoics taught that suffering is inevitable, but how we respond to it is entirely within our control. By choosing to meet adversity with composure and determination, you turn what was meant to harm you into fuel for your personal evolution. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." This means every challenge is an exercise for your character. Just as a muscle grows stronger through resistance, your mind and spirit become more resilient when tested by hardship. When you allow adversity to shape you rather than defeat you, you build an inner fortress no hate or negativity can penetrate. Those who hate you often thrive on your weakness, your frustration, your fear. They want to see you collapse under pressure because it validates their contempt. But by choosing to stand firm and use adversity as a tool for growth, you deny them the victory. You become like a mighty oak that bends but does not break in the storm. Your resilience unsettles them more than any argument or confrontation ever could. Epictetus taught that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle lies at the core of using adversity to your advantage. You cannot always control external events or other people's hostility, but you can control your attitude and your actions. When you adopt this mindset, adversity becomes a source of empowerment rather than defeat. Furthermore, adversity sharpens your wisdom. It forces you to see clearly what truly matters and what is trivial. It cuts away illusions, ego, and false attachments. Through hardship, you learn humility and deepen your understanding of life's impermanence. This wisdom, in turn, gives you an unshakable calmness, a peace that cannot be disturbed by hatred or negativity. When you respond to adversity with this stoic grace, you send a powerful message. You will not be broken. You will grow stronger. And this silent strength is the greatest form of hurt you can deliver to those who seek to harm you. Not by engaging in petty battles, but by rising above them. So next time you face trials or hostility, remind yourself, these are your opportunities. Embrace them fully. Use them to build resilience, deepen your wisdom, and strengthen your character. The challenges that others hope will destroy you can instead be the very things that elevate you to greatness. In the end, those who hate you watch in silence as you transform their negativity into your foundation. They see you rising, unshaken, unbroken, and ultimately untouchable. Number 7. Use silence as power. In a world obsessed with noise, constant chatter, heated arguments, social media battles, silence is a rare and formidable weapon. The Stoics understood silence not just as the absence of sound, but as a deliberate choice, a strategic act of self-mastery and control. When faced with hatred or provocation, silence becomes a shield that protects your peace and a sword that disarms your enemies. Seneca advised, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings. It is the wisdom of knowing when to speak and, more importantly, when to withhold words. Often responding to hate with words only fuels the fire. It gives the aggressor the reaction they crave, a sign that they have disturbed your calm. But by choosing silence, you deny them this power. Your quiet response unsettles them more than any argument could. Silence signals confidence and mastery. It tells others you are not impulsive or easily rattled. It shows that you are so secure in your own values and strength that you do not need to justify or defend yourself constantly. This self-possession is itself a form of resistance and strength, and it frustrates those who seek to provoke you. Marcus Aurelius counseled himself to be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Your silence is that cliff, unmoving, unshaken, and steady. It absorbs the noise and chaos without responding in kind. Moreover, silence creates space. Space to think, to reflect, and to choose your next action wisely rather than react impulsively. It gives you control over your emotions, turning what could be a battlefield into a place of calm and clarity. This clarity often leads to wiser, more effective responses later, or sometimes no response at all, because some battles are best not fought. In essence, silence can be a powerful form of protest, a way to withhold your energy from those who seek to drain it with hate and provocation. It allows you to protect your mental and emotional well-being and keeps you focused on what truly matters, your own growth and peace. So next time you face someone who hates you, resist the urge to react immediately. Harness the power of silence. Let your quiet strength do the talking. In this way, you hurt those who hate you more than any shouting match could. You deny them the attention and emotional response they hunger for, leaving them frustrated and powerless. Number 8. Stand firm in integrity. Integrity is the cornerstone of the Stoic life. It is the unwavering commitment to live according to your principles, no matter the external pressures or threats. When those who hate you try to shake your foundation, your steadfastness in integrity becomes your strongest defense. They cannot touch what is immovable. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this idea repeatedly. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Integrity demands that your actions and words align with your deepest values. This alignment creates a harmony within you that external forces cannot disrupt. It is a form of inner freedom that makes you impervious to the judgments or attacks of others. Standing firm in integrity means resisting the temptation to compromise, even when it's easier or safer to do so. It means refusing to stoop to the level of those who spread hate or falsehoods. This moral courage is not flashy or loud, but it is powerful. It builds trust, respect, and a reputation that endures beyond momentary conflict. The Stoics believed that living in agreement with nature includes living in agreement with reason and virtue. When you hold fast to integrity, you embody this principle. You show that your life is guided not by fear, anger, or desire for revenge, but by reason and justice. This firm stance frustrates those who hate you because they thrive on chaos, inconsistency, and weakness. When they see you unshaken, true to yourself, and principled, they lose their grip. Your integrity is a wall they cannot scale, a light they cannot dim. Seneca reminds us, it is a great thing to know the season for speech and the season for silence. Standing firm in integrity means also knowing when to speak up and when to hold back, always guided by what is right and true. In practice, this means you must continually examine your own actions and motivations. Are you acting out of virtue, or are you reacting emotionally? Are you compromising your values for temporary gain or comfort? The path of integrity is not always easy, but it is the path that leads to true strength and lasting peace. So, let your life be a testament to integrity. In doing so, you not only protect yourself from those who hate you, but you also inspire others to rise above pettiness and cruelty. Your unwavering commitment to your values is the most powerful hurt you can deliver. It reveals the weakness in hatred and illuminates the strength of virtue. Number 9. Forgive to set yourself free. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood and underrated forms of strength, especially through the lens of Stoic philosophy. While many see forgiveness as an act of concession or weakness, the Stoics viewed it as a profound act of liberation and self-mastery. To forgive is to release the heavy chains of anger, resentment, and bitterness that others' hatred tries to impose upon you, and in doing so, you reclaim your inner peace and freedom. Epictetus reminds us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When someone harms you, the initial pain or insult is outside your control. But how long you carry that pain, how long you allow it to poison your thoughts and emotions, is entirely up to you. Clinging to grudges traps you in a prison of your own making, constantly reliving the injury and feeding the fire of your own suffering. Forgiveness, then, is the deliberate choice to break free from that prison. This does not mean you condone harmful actions or forget the lessons you have learned. Marcus Aurelius, known for his gentle yet firm wisdom, advised seeing the faults of others through the lens of human frailty and ignorance. He wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question. What fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This reflective mindset encourages compassion and understanding, softening the grip of anger and opening the door to forgiveness. Forgiveness is an act of self-respect and self-preservation. It prevents you from becoming a hostage to the negativity of others. The Stoics recognized that bitterness and grudges are like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Only you are harmed by carrying resentment. To forgive is to cleanse your soul, to unburden yourself from the toxic weight of past wounds. Moreover, forgiveness restores your focus on what truly matters, living in accordance with virtue, reason, and tranquility. It allows you to redirect your precious energy from cycles of revenge and bitterness toward growth, resilience, and wisdom. When you forgive, you are actively choosing peace over turmoil, freedom over captivity. In the practical world, this means refusing to respond to hate with more hate. Instead, it means acknowledging the pain, learning the lessons, and then consciously deciding to let go. This act of letting go is a profound demonstration of inner strength and maturity. It tells those who hate you that their attempts to wound your spirit have failed because you refuse to be defined or imprisoned by their hatred. Forgiveness also signals to yourself and others that you are the master of your emotions and that external negativity cannot control your inner world. This is one of the most powerful ways to hurt those who want to see you suffer. Not by retaliation, but by embodying a freedom and peace they cannot touch. Ultimately, forgiveness is not a favor to others. It is a gift you give to yourself. It restores your peace, strengthens your character, and frees you to pursue a life aligned with your values and virtues, unshackled from the past. Number 10. Focus on what you can control. At the very heart of Stoic philosophy lies one of the most powerful truths: the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. This is the ultimate weapon against those who hate you and seek to disturb your peace. When you channel your energy exclusively toward what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your character, you render all external negativity powerless. Epictetus famously taught, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us." This simple but profound idea is the foundation for emotional resilience. You cannot control what others think, say, or do. You cannot control the opinions, insults, or actions of those who wish you harm. Trying to do so is like attempting to control the wind or the tides, futile and exhausting. Instead, the Stoics urge you to turn your focus inward. Your judgments, choices, and responses are within your power. By cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the cardinal virtues, you build a fortress of character that no external attack can breach. When those who hate you attempt to provoke a reaction, you have the choice to rise above. You can refuse to give them the emotional response they crave. You can maintain your composure, your calm, and your rational mind. This refusal to engage on their terms is itself a form of hurt. It strips away their influence and control over you. Marcus Aurelius advises, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By focusing on your own mind and actions, you maintain your tranquility and ensure that your life is guided by reason, not by the chaos others seek to create. Moreover, this focus on controllables creates a self-fulfilling cycle of growth and success. When you invest your energy into your own improvement, whether in virtue, skills, or goals, you become stronger and more fulfilled. This progress is the greatest hurt to those who wish to see you fail, because it exposes the futility of their hate. Their negativity becomes irrelevant in the face of your steady advancement. This principle also frees you from the trap of envy, resentment, or despair. By accepting what you cannot control, you avoid unnecessary suffering and redirect your efforts toward meaningful action. In practice, focusing on what you can control means daily reflection, mindfulness, and discipline. It means setting clear priorities aligned with your values and consistently acting upon them. It means recognizing that your true power lies not in changing others, but in mastering yourself. To those who hate you, your indifference to their attempts at disruption is a silent but devastating defeat. They lose the power to unsettle you because you have reclaimed your sovereignty over your mind and life. In the final analysis, this inward focus is where your true power lies. By directing your energy wisely, you build a life of virtue, peace, and resilience, one that no external negativity can break. Thank you for watching and diving deep into these 10 powerful Stoic strategies to hurt those who hate you without ever lifting a finger. Remember, true strength isn't found in fighting back with anger or resentment. It's in mastering yourself, rising above negativity, and living with integrity and calm. If you found this video valuable, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more insights on Stoic philosophy and ways to live a stronger, wiser life. Share your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear how you apply these principles in your own journey. Stay calm, stay focused, and keep building your inner fortress. The best hurt to those who wish you harm is the unshakable peace and power you create within. Until next time, keep living stoically.